A Kickstarter project worth backing, new price tiers for apps, Harry Potter ebooks are here, and why iOS devices charge at 100%. It's Wednesday, March 28th, 2012, and this is iWake. I'm Tim Chaten, and this is what's going on in the Apple world today. Good morning and welcome to another edition of iWake. Before beginning today's episode, I want to announce something that hopefully won't cause too much of a problem here. As many of you know, there is an iWake app in the iOS App Store and the Kindle Store for the Kindle Fire. Well, to keep that app up and running and working with the company that does it, it costs me around $40 a month to do so. I've worked with this company for a long time, originally just using them to host my audio shows for the show, for this podcast. But simply put, I can't afford that $40 a month cost anymore. I don't have money to do so at all. So hopefully one day I will, but that day is not today. So what this means is the app will not get new episodes. It should work otherwise with the back catalog for now, and the app will be pulled pretty shortly, I would imagine. So I'm sorry for this change. If you did buy the app, I can work with app developers to try to get you another app with promo codes, things like that, of your choice. It was not my intention to pull this app so soon after its release, and for that I'm sorry. And with that, let's just get on to the news for the day. So first up today is a bad to the bone Kickstarter project that simply, well, it looks incredible. So it's called Galileo. It's an incredible device that allows you to rotate and move an iPhone or iPod Touch with your iPad with a few swipes. You get a live feed of what's going on your iPhone right there on your iPad, and you're able to swipe to control it. It is designed to allow you to move your iPhone when filming in a smooth and elegant way, doing time lapses, other cool stuff. If you just want to record a conference, things like that. I don't do it justice here, but just to say it's really worth checking out. Go over to Kickstarter.com, watch the video. The device will retail for $130 when it ships in June and is available now on Kickstarter for $85 to start backing the project. Just search for Galileo in the Kickstarter website to find it. Next up today is some app news. To begin is an update to Airfoil for the Mac. For those that don't know, Airfoil lets you send audio from any application on your Mac to an AirPlay speaker. I own it, and it's awesome. The latest update adds a number of things. The biggest thing, and the thing worth noting here, is the app now lives in the menu bar, making it even easier to send stuff to your speakers. The app got a number of other bug fixes, making it even more attractive. It's available for Windows and, as I'll talk about tomorrow, Linux as well. If you want to pick it up, you can head over to rogueamoeba.com. It costs $25. Related to that is a new AirPlay speaker coming out from Logitech. The speakers look to be very high quality, and they look pretty sweet and have a very thin profile. There isn't much more to say here except it looks cool and nifty, and it's cool to see more AirPlay speakers being made. The Logitech UE Air speaker will be available next month, which is April, for $400. In other Mac news is a new update to Reader. The interesting part of this update is it now supports Mountain Lion, as far as it fixed a crash to do so. This is one of the first apps to kind of hint that we're looking at Mountain Lion and we're working with it, and it's cool to see that happen. Reader is available in the Mac App Store now for $10. Next up in app news are some new price points that some high-end iOS apps might opt for. Apple added the option to sell iOS apps for $125 and $175. There are only a few iOS apps out there that would warrant a price tag like this. Perhaps something from the Omni Group or Final Cut Pro for iPad, or some other Pro app would warrant a high price tag like that. Anyways, developers can now price their apps at those levels. Moving on is some news related to those that like to read on iOS devices. First up is the Loop highlighting Michael Melville's post about the problem of magazines on the iPad. He writes, "How about publishers stop making their magazines a big stack of PNGs and start to use actual text? The kind of text you can actually copy and paste and look up in app dictionaries." The site closes out by agreeing with him and saying this is exactly the problem with magazines. They're huge because of this. And I personally don't like magazines on iPad because they're too big to download. It's a big problem because magazines are largely image-based, but it's a problem that I hope iBooks Author will eventually fix, even though iBooks Author outputs some pretty big file sizes itself. In other reader news is the long-awaited Harry Potter ebooks. As mentioned a long time ago, J.K. Rowling did something unique here. The books are sold through pottermore.com and are DRM-free EPUBs. That means you can put them on practically any ebook app or device. The first 3 books are priced at $8, and the final 4 at $10. You can buy the bundle of all 7 books for $57.54, which saves you a little cash from the individual purchases. This morning, as I was writing the show, I got an email from Barnes & Noble about this release, and I headed on over to their website, and they actually have a full-out product page for each of those books, and when you hit buy, it actually launches up the Pottermore website. Pretty deep integration here, and it's cool to see that J.K. Rowling kind of got her way and went around the standard way of doing things. So I guess you have that luxury when you are the author of Harry Potter. Closing out the show today is some iOS device-related news. To begin is Sprint's chief financial officer commenting on the LTE iPhone. So basically, this is what he said without trying to read too much into it. If there is an LTE iPhone, that Sprint would not be left out of that party because of its incredibly small LTE coverage. Apple doesn't care about that. It has the same access that Verizon and AT&T has. The company is expected to roll out LTE to 6 cities by the middle of this year, which is practically nothing compared to what Verizon and even AT&T are doing. Nothing too notable here, just something to be aware of. Last up today is someone fairly high up at Apple commenting on why iOS devices charge at 100%. This phenomenon has been happening since the original iPhone back in 2007, and it has now only become a thing with the new iPad and its longer charge time. Here is what the Apple person said. So here's how things work. Apple does, in fact, display the iPad and iPhone and iPod Touch as 100% charged just before the device reaches a completely charged state. At that point, it will continue charging to 100%, then discharge a bit and charge back up to 100%, repeating that process until the device is unplugged. Doing so allows devices to maintain an optimum charge. That circuitry is designed so you can keep your device plugged in as long as you would like. It's a great feature that's always been in iOS. So there you go. Another level-headed response to the idiots in the press with their battery and heatgate stories. So it's not an issue. It's been around since 2007. Well, that's what's going on in the Apple world today. If you like this show, I hope you do, head over to iTunes to leave a review. And don't forget to subscribe to iWake Again over at iWakePodcast.com/again. With iWake Again, you get to wake up to iWake on Saturday for an interview or discussion all about Apple. So it's iWakePodcast.com/again. Join me tomorrow for another edition of iWake. Aloha.